I started my cake career making fondant cakes, and a few years later switched to using buttercream exclusively. Yes, you can make 3D figures and sculpted realistic designs using fondant, but here are 10 buttercream techniques that I think are better than fondant. With buttercream, you can create all kinds of texture with just a piping bag and a piping tip. Vintage or Lambeth cakes are really trendy at the moment, or try Russian tips to pipe all of the petals of each flower with just a single squeeze of the piping bag. Piping buttercream is not only a quick technique, it's also a beautiful one which takes both simple or intricate elaborate cakes to the next level. Did you know that you can carve buttercream? When buttercream gets cold in the fridge, it gets very firm, so you can layer different colours on top of each other and then use a metal piping tip or carving tool dipped into warm water to slice through the outer layer of buttercream to reveal the layers below, creating colourful and dimensional patterns and shapes. Another surprising technique that works on buttercream is painting. Use gel colours and a paintbrush on buttercream that's been in the fridge for at least an hour to set it so it's firm and doesn't blend with the gel paints. Or try your hand at the buttercream version of oil painting by using a palette knife or a tapered offset spatula to layer buttercream colours for more textured painting, like these flowers. With fondant, you can model figures to make 3D characters, like Paw Patrol or the Ninja Turtles or Minions. But my favourite characters are cheaper and quicker and more recognisable. With just a few pieces of parchment or wax paper, you can make your own stencils, which you'll layer to make characters. Trace the character to make an identical version, and then choose one colour at a time to create stencils for details upon details upon details. The trick here is to make sure each layer of buttercream sets by chilling it in the fridge for 30 minutes or the freezer for 15 minutes before applying the next layer of details. With this technique, you can make accurate and delicious buttercream representations of characters. You can make fondant flowers quickly with a stamp, like the purple ones on this unicorn cake or these pretty pink and white ones, but with buttercream you can make them even faster with just a piping tip. This is a 2D, which is a closed flower tip, and with just a squeeze and a twist of your wrist, you can make these gorgeous flowers, and by layering different colours in your piping bag, you can create all sorts of colourful effects. Put the flowers in the freezer for 5 minutes to chill them, and then press them onto your cake. To make beaded borders with fondant, you need to roll tens or hundreds or thousands of identically sized balls, and then attach each one individually to the cake. The buttercream equivalent is, you guessed it, faster and easier. Put some buttercream in a piping bag, squeeze it to push the buttercream out, and after it bulges to form a ball, swipe the piping bag away, leaving a tail on the dot. Cover up the tail with the next dot. With buttercream, you can pipe not only these bottom borders, but also borders on top of the cake, like this trendy rope border. Borders on top of the cake add height and colour and texture, and they're such a pretty way to finish off a cake. No tool techniques are unique to buttercream because fondant requires specialist tools like silicone rolling pins and fondant smoothers and a ball tool and cutting tools. Buttercream, on the other hand, can be decorated with household utensils like a spoon, a fork, a ruler, a rubber or silicone spatula, a sandwich bag like a Ziploc bag, and even bubble wrap for stunning results. Create perfectly smooth buttercream frosting by scraping around a cake with a straight-edged cake comb, or imprint any texture you like using a textured cake comb, which is not possible to do like this on fondant. It's the same technique as smoothing frosting, which means there are no new skills to learn for this technique, and it adds detail to a cake in just 1 to 2 minutes. Buttercream cakes can be wrapped with very detailed buttercream designs, which you pipe onto acetate or parchment paper and then transfer onto a cake covered with a thin layer of buttercream frosting, and the design will sit flat against that frosting. Or you can do this with chocolate, which also attaches to buttercream frosting on a cake. Both buttercream and chocolate wraps add delicious detail that will make everyone wonder how you achieved the attention-grabbing effect. Sprinkles are great on buttercream because they're easy to attach. Just press them gently against soft buttercream or more firmly against buttercream that's set. You can use sprinkles to add colour, to match a colour scheme, to outline shapes, or even to cover a cake completely. And they make for an insanely quick and easy but eye-catching border. So, which buttercream technique is your favourite? Or is there a fondant technique you'd love to find a buttercream replacement for? Tell me in the comments, and to learn hundreds more buttercream cake decorating techniques, visit my cake school on britishgirlbakes.com. Try out my all-you-can-cake membership, which gives you access to everything on my cake school with a 7-day free trial. See you there!